Let's talk about it. So I want to talk about Chrisean Rock. Yes, deep sigh is necessary. So me personally, I followed the girl for maybe a few years now. I just know that I knew of her before she started messing around with Blueface, before she was on his show, and before her life took a downhill turn. But yeah, I don't want to do like a recap or anything because that would take too much effort. But the girl, pretty girl. She became Blueface's artist, and it was pretty clear to me that they were messing around. Through a series of events, that information became more obvious. I don't know how else to say it, because she was getting his name tatted on her, and she was just saying certain things that would only point to them being close. So all that drama, he's got a baby mama that he claims to be committed to. So we see them butt heads. We see the girl lose her tooth in the house. We see just a lot of stuff happen. And as of lately, she's exposed it all. So that was definitely interesting. Nothing like I said, I felt like I could see from the beginning. So the exposing of messages and all of that, the whole exposing of Blueface wasn't really something that was new. It wasn't new knowledge. But this girl went to freaking jail on Valentine's Day. I don't even know how true the story is because it's so damn crazy. But allegedly, this young woman stole Blueface's car. She broke into his one of his houses for the third time. Allegedly, broke into his house for the third time and took money, drugs, and a G-Wagon. Made an attempt to drive it across country from California to Baltimore, where her family is from, to provide her mother with a shelter. Her brother was supposed to stay in the car because her mother is actually sleeping in the snow, per Chrisean. Yeah, like I said, steals the car with the intention of driving it to Baltimore to go get her mother and provide her mother with shelter. And she gets caught not in Baltimore. She made it pretty far. She made it to Oklahoma. So, wow. And was arrested. From what, first of all, let's talk about how much information is being shared because of Blueface. We're seeing text messages now. We're seeing pictures of a message on the wall written in blood. Allegedly, Chrisean wrote that. I have so many opinions. Well, I have one solid opinion. I don't think it's how do I say this? I feel like there's more going on, obviously. I feel like there's more going on, obviously. We don't know. But I like when I saw the message in blood, the I love you blue dash rock, like signed rock type of thing. I wasn't convinced that girl wrote that, because I'm like, is she really gonna write like rock, like sign it with her name or whatever? So I don't know. She did throw up on live, so I don't know, but I feel like that. I was just like, I feel like that's a setup. Like, yeah, maybe y'all saw that she had blood there, if she did bleed on the crime scene. But every time I look at the image, I'm like, I don't think that Chrisean wrote that shit. I don't think she wrote that in her blood. But she was talking on the phone in jail, And she did say that her mom was going to sleep in the car she got pulled over in. Didn't say stole. I'm sure she's trying not to incriminate herself, but she didn't say stole. She said the car got pulled over in. I have one conspiracy theory, one theory, whatever you want to call it. What if Blueface was like, oh, do you want to get back in my good graces? Then move this work for me or whatever. And then proceeded to set her up like, oh, the car was stolen, so on and so forth. Because I'm not saying I know how long it takes to get from California to Oklahoma, but it seemed like she only had 8 hours. Maybe she could have drove. I don't know. And then, okay, maybe it was possible because from what I'm hearing, she wasn't in the car alone. She had an accomplice. Allegedly, she was in the car with another girl who was also on Blueface's show, and also, believe from Baltimore, who they Chrisean and this girl, Seven is the girl's name, they know of each other. They knew of each other prior to the show. So, yeah. This is also a girl who was in the car when Chrisean was throwing up on live. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not going to get into it because we're not talking about throw up. But, yes. They were supposedly together. And I am sitting here now thinking, like, maybe that is possible for them to have driven that far. But, I don't know. She is in the system, so there's some truth to this. It's just, I don't know. I'm really looking at the situation like, this is so crazy. Some part of this has to be scripted. Like, something has to have been set up on some part, someone's behalf. Somebody's doing some type of setting up. But yeah, Blueface went to social media. He cleared his name real quick, honey. He's on there, like I said, exposing all the screenshots of her trying to talk to him and stuff, and him trying to save her by, I guess, telling her to pull over, or you should have just asked me. People don't seem to believe him, but I just feel like he's either taking this opportunity to just look at her like, look, this is karma. You wanted to expose all our text messages. Now I'm going to expose some text messages. But it just doesn't look good. You know, from my eyes looking at the situation, I look at him like, it's not a good look for you. His manager, Wack, is known for the yapping. I think he's constantly on Clubhouse. And I think he's just known for that. I think that's something that he is just, I don't know, maybe gets paid to do, but people were not surprised. I wasn't surprised to see that he was yapping away whatever details he knew about the situation, because that man just makes it so clear he does not like that girl. So, yeah, but it's just, I'm looking at her like, I really knew you were going down, but I didn't think you were going down in this way. And it's such a weird way. Like, you broke into his house and you stole a car to do that. Like, I don't understand. But then again, if he's not answering you, okay, the screenshots that I saw of their text messages make it seem like she was being ignored, and then after the ignoring was when this car was stolen. It doesn't seem like the car was stolen and then she was trying to talk to him. But do I know? I don't know, because I don't really think I put the timestamps of the text messages in my brain. I'm really just looking at this like, if this is all a publicity stunt, why? Like, why could y'all have not just lied and said, yeah, she is pregnant? And then, I don't know, something more simple. But the girl's in jail now. And I can't, I feel bad, but I'm also looking at her like, you did this to yourself. But that doesn't mean I can't feel bad though, right? I can still feel bad even though she did it to herself. It's just a matter of, could this have been avoided? And I think we all know, yes, it could have. I feel for I don't know if let me say I don't feel for Blueface. That's why I had to hesitate, because I'm like, do I feel for him? Because the man is a hot mess. But right now people think that they're blaming him for her being in jail. Something to do with the text messages she exposed about them and how he's a manipulator. But I don't really feel like that's directly connected to this whole robbery thing. Then again, we don't know the whole story, so there could have been some recent manipulation that caused her to, go off the edge, but it seemed like it was heading down this type of path from the way she presents herself on her live videos. I knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. You could tell with this situation, it was like a Jocelyn and Stevie J type of situation with the whole artist thing, but it was very clear that they were more than professionally involved. And she's a lot younger than most people that you see in the spotlight, and she wasn't really, given guidance in how to be in the spotlight. So you saw her just get really comfortable really quick, and it all went to shit just as quick as she got comfortable. Like she was all up in that man's mansion, living it up. Next thing you know, nothing gold can stay because you got too comfortable. And they were like, well, there's nothing stopping us from pulling that rug from right underneath you. And there's more accountability. Like there's people that let that girl think everything that she was doing was okay because it was entertaining, because it was funny. She had yes people around her. There was a lot of clout behind her name, and there still is a decent amount of clout behind her name now. She's on the Shade Room for this Valentine's Day incident, so I think that there was so many people that could have really been there to help her, but they probably were just like, look, either I can't tell a grown person how to live their life, or they just didn't care enough. Maybe they were really not the genuine associates that she should have had around her, and they let her get to this point. I don't know how hard it is to get through to that girl, because it doesn't seem like she cared to listen to her family when she was around them and stay away from LA and Blueface. I don't know the details in that, but she made her bed and now she must lay in it. It sucks because you don't want to see anybody go through what she's going through, but she's also not taking accountability for it. Like, I heard the audio of her from jail talking about that she doesn't deserve this or something like that. And things like those statements, they do sound a little narcissistic. It doesn't sound like she wants to take credit for her own bad decisions, but that could be a small detail in regards to whether or not she was set up, whether or not she was instructed or given, like, oh, if you want money, I'll pay you, but you got to bring this money to whatever, and then that turned into a setup. Who knows? That's going to turn this into an episode of Power if that's the case. But I do think that there are crazy details that we don't know. We may never know. These blogs, they share stuff. Some of them seem like they know, but there are conflicting stories. So you have one saying that she was in the car with the girl 7, and Rock is the one that took both of their charges. So Rock went to jail, and her charge and 7's charge are both on her. So she didn't snitch on 7 or whatever. But then there's somebody saying that 7 was booked in some capacity, and then Blueface came and was like, I'll drop the charges, or drop the Grand Theft Auto charge, and kept Chrisean locked up. That does sound a little bit more spicy. That does sound a little bit more scandalous. So that could very well be some BS, but all of it's alleged. So it's something that I look at like, wow, this is it's so hard to make up, but at the same time, I'm looking at it like, how true is some crazy shit like this? It's just hard to believe. I don't know. it's hard to believe, but at the same time, from the series of events that have happened before this, that girl is very well capable of doing some crazy shit like this. You on live throwing up. You're on live breaking into this man's house, taking baths. Like, there's several times where she gets on live saying the craziest things, gets on live contradicting herself, and I cringe. I cringe because she's such a pretty girl. Looks are not everything, but she's such a pretty girl, and you're looking at her like you are making yourself look like a fool. And it seems like the whole time it's been for clout. I've heard her talk about other people. Oh, she's trying to get clout off of me. Oh, they want clout. That's why they're doing this. But ultimately, she sadly was clout hungry the most. Like, I really can't see it any other way from the beginning of me following her up till now. And I wish she still had her old pages because you could see the difference. There's such a drastic difference. Drastic? I'm not trying to say Jurassic. I'm trying to say drastic. I feel like I put too many syllables or synonyms, whatever, syllables in there. Moving on. Goodness, grammar. But yes, big change. Big change. She went from athlete, flat tummy tea promo, much more confidence. You could just see she was more well put together. I can't even think about all the yada yadas, but back then she was way more put together, had her head on her shoulders, seemed like she was just, straight to the money. Nothing could stop her from going up. And then she got on the show, and that was like, I don't know if it was the true Chrisean or if it was just, oh, she changed. Maybe that's, they keep alleging that she's doing like hard drugs, so that could have been the time that it started. The point is that there was a change, a noticeable change, as soon as she was in that house. My personal opinion is, as soon as she started relations with Blueface, she felt like, oh, I'm top tier. I'm the top. He wants this, so I'm better than everybody. I'm above everybody. And then you start to see her act like she's just invincible, and she wasn't invincible. Now we see that. I feel for her. I hope that, when she gets out, she stays her ass away from him and learns to stay off alive. I feel like that's one person whose Instagram live videos I won't miss. I wish for her to learn to not document everything, because I think there's a lot of stuff that she's documented from being on live and people screenshotting her lives that is incriminating her. She said things about not minding going to jail, like not minding getting locked up, saying, oh, if your man, or if you feel heartbroken, or if you feel done wrong, you're just going to sit there and cry. No, you're going to bust his windows. So you can't feel like she doesn't deserve this, but you know that it's not something that you would want anybody that you at one point supported to go through. It sucks because we have really just been able to witness her downfall through social media. It's just been a social media documentary of the downfall of Chrisean. I love your faces. I'll see y'all later. Comment below, like this video, and let me know what you think about this whole Chrisean and Blueface situation. Bye.